let's get to our predictions before Greg's going to pour himself a spot of tea and turn on some classical music in the background. Let's see. Who's bold enough to take the Cardinals this week? Well, how about across the board? Is this good or is this bad? Johnny's got the Cardinals winning 24-21. I've got the Cardinals winning 24-17. Craig, you want to explain yours, 23-17?
Well, I don't think they find the end zone 3 times, Bo. You do. I think they're going to settle for 2 field goals in Chad Ryland, but they are giving up an average of 17 points a game at home, which is one of the best marks in the NFL. They've been very good at home. We obviously know about the no touchdown streak that they had at home. This is a good defense on home field. I feel like the Cardinals are going to get this one done.
And Damon, following that, I would have guessed that logic there with the 13 points that you have the Seahawks only scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to stay low scoring based off of what we saw a couple weeks ago, based off of that Vikings game where, teams actually scored late to inflate the score a little bit, but it was a very defensive back and forth matchup. I just think that that's what the Cardinals are right now. They're not scoring a lot of touchdowns. They have a decent offense, but it's not a great offense. Their defense, on the other hand, is playing well above their heads. I think we get another, kind of defensive battle matchup with the Seahawks, and this time the Cardinals are on the better end of it.
Craig, you make an unbelievably great point, and I'm glad he's not here to defend himself, so we're just going to kind of roast him. Johnny picking Chad Ryland as his X factor, but having really logically 1 field goal from Ryland in that. So it must be a crucial field goal as he's got it. The difference here, maybe he's saying it's going to be a game winner from Chad Ryland. Are we talking? I mean, what would it have to take?
But it's a 7-point spread, so it can't be.
Like a 55-yarder to win the game or something like that.
Yeah, could be, I guess. But yeah, you're right about that score. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I've got
kind of a boneheaded pick for your X factor, right? If you're just going to get a field goal. I mean, I'm
not going to go that far.
It's wishful thinking.
Safe travel, JV. Safe travel. Okay?
It's wishful thinking that JV takes it, and then it's like a professional wrestling, and you hear his music, and he comes running onto the set. But we'll go with him not being able to stick up for himself here.
Seahawks fans are going to love that, by the way.
What's that?
Those 4
that
score
across
predictions.
The board?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a must-win game. The Cardinals, I think they understand the opportunity they blew last week. They played with a very good team in the Vikings. It was the final score up in Seattle, I think, wasn't as indicative of what, how tight that game was. If the Cardinals defense plays well and the offense figures it out, even the slightest, I think they win this game at home. I really do. They'd have to make a bunch of boneheaded mistakes to put it in the favor of Seattle.
Don't say that. And obviously they got to clean up some of those boneheaded mistakes, like the penalties. Can't have 10 penalties again. But that's out of characteristic that's not characteristic for the Cardinals to have 10 penalties a game. They're still the least penalized team in the NFL, even after taking 10 in that game. 4 on Tip Ryman, 3 earned. I don't expect to see that again, especially at home. I do think that the Cardinals will execute better in critical situations, and that's going to be the difference. I also believe that desperation is a motivating factor in this league in a lot of games when things seem even. Seattle, I mean, you could make an argument that they need this game too, but they don't need it quite as desperately as the Cardinals do. If the Cardinals lose this game, hate to say it, guys, they're done.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I mean, you can kind of steady the ship a little bit with a game over a Patriots team and probably string together back-to-back wins against the Pats and the Panthers. But man, are you relying way too much on a team that if Seattle wins, obviously it would be their 4th in a row. It's like, can you realistically rely on them to fall apart enough for you to get back into this thing? And the answer is no. Like, your opportunities have been there. And if you don't cash in on them, like, you're backing your way in a kind of an unforeseen scenario for the Cardinals.